Should you be trading Bitcoin or holding Bitcoin? I believe Bitcoin is a long-term hold. It is something that you hold in the dips, hold in the highs, and it is not something that you should be speculating on, trying to make a quick dollar, then leave the market, then enter it back in, trying to time between a bear market, a bull market, the peaks, the drops. It is something you want to be holding long-term. The longer you hold it, the more it's going to appreciate. This is something that appreciates 40-50%, but that's on an average. So there's going to be some bad years and there's going to be some good years. And so the volatility is an actual opportunity to get in at lower prices. It is an opportunity to lower your average buy price. It is not something that you want to be trading and mucking around with, because it is constantly bouncing back up to all-time highs. And so if you miss out on that and you've sold your stack and it goes to all-time highs, then everything that you've just accomplished trying to time the market, and maybe you made a bit of profit here and there, will all get either evened back out to neutral, or you will even end up losing. It is extremely difficult to be profitable in trading Bitcoin unless you're going to be a full-time trader, give up your entire, full-time job, part-time job, and just become a full-time trader. Even they fail. Even their success rate, if it's over 50%, that's pretty rare. So I don't have a crystal ball, neither do you, neither does Elon Musk, neither does Donald Trump. Even Satoshi Nakamoto, he's not, setting out the price for what it should be one day and then tomorrow. It's made up of buyers and sellers. And so the market needs to be in a healthy frame of mind to take on some risk type assets. So risk on. And when things like World War III looks like it's starting to break out, then of course it's going to affect the market. Of course people are going to communicate with their dollars, because the only thing that gives them a voice. So they're going to pull out of the market when they're scared. They're going to dump into the market when they have FOMO and are getting greedy and feel like the market's recovering, getting green. And so you cannot time these things. You cannot predict when Israel's going to drop the next bomb or when Iran's going to bomb America. You can't predict any of these things. Life is unpredictable. That's what makes life exciting. But another thing with Bitcoin is it compounds returns. So as you hold it long term, if it's appreciating 40-50% on average, even in those bad years, if you're holding long enough, eventually you'll never be in a loss again. So look at Jack Mollers. He's been buying since $100 Bitcoin. Do you think he's ever in negative, even if Bitcoin drops 10%, even 50%, 60%? He will always be in profit, because he bought at a very low price to the point that the dips are not dipping below that price. So his average buy price will always be high enough for him to be in profit. But I don't really treat it as an investment. I just treat it as, I trade my crappy Aussie dollars for Bitcoin, a superior money. And of course it's going to hold its value longer than Aussie dollars. That's what it does. So I don't need to trade the top down to the bottom and bottom back in. And I don't need to do any of that. I just know it's a superior store of value. I know it's going to hold its value better over long term. And even if, say I bought today, right now in Australia, it's $165,000. If it dropped to $150,000 tomorrow, that's no skin off my back. I buy more, and then I can average out my buy price. So I just think there's so many hidden costs in trying to trade. There's obviously going to be tax implications as well. So if you're holding an asset like Bitcoin, for example, and you're trying to day trade it, there's a significantly more tax on someone that's held something for an hour than there is someone that's held it for a year. And so if you are going to be one of those people that's reporting all your tax, trying to do it properly, trying to do it legally, which is most people, then day trading, you're going to get absolutely destroyed. And then you're going to have to outperform what tax you get on your profits that are hard to get anyway. And so Bitcoin, you got to stop treating it like an investment, guys. You got to treat it like you're trading it, your crappy dollar for a better dollar, and that dollar is Bitcoin. Understand that this is something that is a long-term, you have to have a long-term vision, but things move also very quick in the short term. So if you can get in now and say it doubles in the next 6 months, 12 months, then aren't you glad you didn't try and trade in and out? And then what if it dumps as well? Well, then you just buy more, average out your buy price, and prepare for the next run up. And so if you can have a goal in your head, like, hey, I'm not selling for the next 5 years, 10 years, then the price, you shouldn't be checking it every day, and you shouldn't be stressing about what the price is, and you should be happy when it drops. That is what a true Bitcoiner does. He gets excited when he gets a cheaper Bitcoin, because he knows it's extremely scarce. There will only ever be 21 million, and he can get more for less. It makes his wage technically worth more when he can trade it to get more Bitcoin than the day before. But when its price runs up, he's now earning less in his pay slip. So he might be earning the same $1,000 fee a week, but now he can buy less Bitcoin and therefore have less purchasing power for the future. So it's not necessarily a win when it goes up. If you're a true Bitcoiner, you understand you need to get as much as possible while its price is considered cheap. And yes, you're not too late. I think people at $500,000 Bitcoin or $1 million Bitcoin are going to wish they bought at $100,000 US Bitcoin. So yeah, guys, do not be trading this thing. Just understand what you're holding. Understand that it is scarce, the scarcest unit of money you can buy and hold into the future and increase your purchasing power. Once you understand that, you'll never want to trade it again. I'll never be selling my Bitcoin to get fiat dollars. The only thing that I'll ever sell or trade for is scarce land or something that I need at that time. But then guess what I'm doing? Going to recoup my losses and buy more Bitcoin when I get a chance to get my stack back up. Treat it like money, guys. Treat it like savings. Cheers.